The vast, uncharted depths of the world's oceans have always held a certain allure, captivating the imagination of those who dream of uncovering the secrets beneath the waves. One such secret has emerged not from the deep sea, but from the realms of social media. An anonymous former National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration scientist recently posted a detailed account of an extraordinary encounter with a mysterious creature during a deep-sea exploration. The anonymous post appeared on a popular social media platform, accompanied by a detailed narrative and several images purportedly captured during the encounter. The scientist, who identified themselves only as a former NOAA employee with extensive experience in marine biology, chose to remain anonymous due to fears of professional and personal repercussions. Despite the anonymity, the detailed knowledge and technical language used in the post lent credibility to their account, suggesting a genuine background in marine science. According to the post, the encounter occurred during a deep-sea mission in a remote part of the Pacific Ocean. The mission's objective was to study the unique ecosystems of the ocean's twilight zone, an area between 200 and 1,000 meters deep, where sunlight barely penetrates. Equipped with state-of-the-art submersibles and remote-operated vehicles, the team set out to gather data on bioluminescent organisms and other deep-sea life forms. During one of the dives, the remote-operated vehicle camera captured an image that stunned the entire team. A humanoid figure with distinctly aquatic features appeared briefly in the camera's lights before swimming away. The creature had a lithe, streamlined body covered in shimmering scales, with a long, flowing tail and webbed hands. Its face, while humanoid, exhibited large, luminous eyes adapted to the low-light environment and gill-like structures along its neck. The scientist described how the creature moved with fluid grace, exhibiting a level of agility and control that surpassed known marine animals. The former worker pointed out that the mysterious underwater humanoid possessed a prominent sagittal crest, a bony ridge running along the top of its head, suggesting a unique evolutionary adaptation. The sagittal crest, a feature not typically associated with known marine life, added a layer of complexity to the sighting. This anatomical feature could suggest a specialized function, perhaps related to sensory perception or hydrodynamics. The anonymous employee stated that they managed to observe the mermaid-like being for several minutes by watching the remotely operated vehicle, further adding that the creature would approach and then dart away. The creature's behavior suggested a level of intelligence and awareness, adding to the mystery of its origin and nature. Oddly enough, following the encounter, the scientist received several warnings from unidentified individuals, cautioning them not to disclose what they had seen. These threats escalated quickly, including direct confrontations that implied severe consequences if the information was shared. The nature and tone of these threats suggested involvement from powerful individuals with a vested interest in keeping the encounter secret. The scientists speculated that the reason for the enforced silence could be due to various factors. One possibility is the fear of public panic or the destabilization of societal norms. Another reason could be the desire of governmental or private organizations to control the knowledge and study of such beings, potentially for scientific, military, or economic gain. The scientists' decision to post anonymously was driven by a need to share their story while avoiding the severe repercussions they had been warned about. The individual expressed their belief that it is important for the world to be aware of the truth, and they also mentioned their intention to publish further details. However, the initial post was removed from social media but was subsequently re-uploaded to Reddit, only to be deleted once more. Consequently, numerous researchers hypothesized that an event occurred involving the ex-employee of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. Others hypothesized that the posts were intentionally removed with the intention of concealing the truth. Furthermore, they even went to the extent of suggesting that the employee mysteriously disappeared shortly after making these posts. Interestingly, some researchers have suggested that the reason why these sightings and encounters are covered up is because these underwater humanoids are extraterrestrial in origin. Reports of underwater humanoids are not a recent phenomenon. Ancient legends and myths from various cultures describe mermaids and sea gods, hinting at encounters with mysterious aquatic beings. In modern times, these sightings have continued, often reported by credible sources such as military personnel and seasoned divers. One notable case is the 1968 incident involving Soviet Navy divers in Lake Baikal, where humanoid creatures in silvery suits were observed at significant depths. Another well-documented sighting occurred in the 1990s near the coast of Greenland, where fishermen reported seeing a humanoid figure with webbed hands and feet. These accounts, while varied, share common elements that suggest something extraordinary beneath the waves. The possibility that these underwater humanoids are aliens hinges on the notion that advanced civilizations could have the technology to explore Earth's oceans. Just as humans sent probes and rovers to explore other planets, it is plausible that an alien civilization might send biologically engineered beings or advanced robots to study our oceans. The deep sea's extreme conditions, high pressure, low temperature, and complete darkness, could be an ideal hiding place for such beings, away from human detection. The advanced technology displayed by these underwater humanoids suggests a level of sophistication far beyond current human capabilities. Reports often describe these beings moving effortlessly through the water, performing maneuvers that defy known aquatic life forms. This includes high-speed movements, abrupt changes in direction, and the ability to withstand extreme underwater pressures. Such capabilities align with what one might expect from technologically advanced explorers. If underwater humanoids are indeed extraterrestrial, the implications for humanity are profound. Governments might suppress this information for several reasons, primarily to prevent public panic. The sudden revelation that alien beings are not only visiting Earth, but also inhabiting our oceans, could lead to widespread fear and uncertainty. People might question their safety, the government's ability to protect them, and the fundamental understanding of humanity's place in the universe. Another reason for secrecy is the desire to maintain control over the situation. By keeping the existence of underwater humanoids classified, governments can study these beings and their technology without external pressure or interference. This control allows for the development of strategic responses and the advancement of technology that might be derived from studying these extraterrestrial visitors. Revealing such information prematurely could compromise national security and strategic advantages. Several incidents involving military personnel suggest that governments are aware of the presence of underwater humanoids. Many of these incidents have involved an aerial object. Similar reports of unidentified submerged objects suggest a connection between these sightings. Whistleblowers and former government officials have occasionally come forward with claims of extraterrestrial encounters and subsequent cover-ups. These accounts sometimes include detailed descriptions of government efforts to monitor and study these beings. The consistency and specificity of these testimonies add weight to the argument that governments possess knowledge they are not sharing with the public. The cultural and psychological impact of confirming these advanced life forms would be profound. As of right now, many researchers who have looked into these encounters have said that the possibility that underwater humanoid sightings are genuine encounters with extraterrestrial beings is both fascinating and unsettling. The advanced capabilities of these beings suggest a level of technology far beyond our own, and their presence in Earth's oceans hints at a strategic choice to remain hidden. Governments, aware of the potential for widespread panic, might suppress this information to maintain control and study these beings in secrecy. Blackbeard's encounter with merfolk. The name Blackbeard conjures images of one of the most notorious pirates in history. Known for his fearsome appearance and ruthless tactics, Blackbeard, whose real name was Edward Teach, terrorized the Atlantic and Caribbean seas in the early 18th century. Among the many tales of his exploits, there are intriguing entries in his logbook that suggest encounters with merfolk or mermaids. Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, was born around 1680 in Bristol, England. He turned to piracy in the early 1700s and quickly gained notoriety for his intimidating presence, characterized by a thick black beard and the habit of lighting fuses in his beard during battle to create a fearsome appearance. Blackbeard commanded a formidable fleet and was known for his strategic acumen and brutal enforcement of discipline. Blackbeard operated during the so-called Golden Age of piracy, a period from the late 17th century to the early 18th century when piracy was rampant in the Caribbean, North American coast, and West African coast. This era was marked by fierce maritime battles, the plundering of merchant ships, and the establishment of pirate havens. Sailors of this time were deeply superstitious, and tales of sea monsters, mermaids, and other mythical creatures were common. In several entries in his logbook, Blackbeard recorded sightings of merfolk. These creatures were described as having the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, resembling the classic depiction of mermaids. According to the logbook, these sightings often occurred in remote and dangerous parts of the sea, where the waters were treacherous and the weather unpredictable. Blackbeard was not one to take supernatural occurrences lightly. He instructed his crew to avoid the areas where merfolk had been sighted, believing that these creatures were omens of bad luck or danger. This caution extended to altering the course of his ships to steer clear of these regions, even if it meant taking longer, more perilous routes. For sailors in the 18th century, the sea was a place of immense mystery and danger. Superstitions played a significant role in their lives, providing explanations for the unexplainable and offering a sense of control over the unpredictable nature of their environment. Mermaids, in particular, were often seen as harbingers of doom, luring sailors to their deaths or signaling impending storms and shipwrecks. While modern science provides explanations for many of the phenomena that once inspired tales of mermaids, such as manatees or dugongs being mistaken for mermaids by weary sailors, the detailed nature of Blackbeard's accounts suggests that these sightings were taken very seriously. The creatures described in his logbook could have been real, but unknown, marine animals, or even hallucinations induced by the challenging conditions of long sea voyages, including scurvy or dehydration. Blackbeard's insistence on avoiding merfolk sightings likely had a significant impact on his crew. It reinforced the belief in the supernatural and the need for caution in unknown waters. This caution may have contributed to Blackbeard's success as a pirate, as it instilled a sense of vigilance and respect for the dangers of the sea among his men. The tales of mermaids and sea monsters have endured for centuries, becoming an integral part of maritime folklore. Blackbeard's logbook entries add a layer of authenticity to these stories, suggesting that even the most feared pirate of his time was not immune to the mysteries of the deep. These entries have fueled the imagination of historians, writers, and enthusiasts, keeping the legend of Blackbeard and his encounters with merfolk alive. The mystery of the Adaro merfolk. The Solomon Islands, a picturesque archipelago in the South Pacific, is known for its vibrant cultures, lush landscapes, and rich marine biodiversity. Among the numerous legends and myths that permeate the local culture, one stands out for its striking blend of mystery and terror, the adaro. Described as a merperson-like creature with unique and fearsome attributes, the adaro is believed to be a real and genuine entity by the islanders. The adaro is a central figure in the mythology of the Solomon Islands. According to local legend, the adaro is a malevolent sea creature that dwells in the waters around the islands. Unlike traditional mermaids, which are often depicted with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, the adaro is said to have a humanoid form combined with distinct aquatic features. These include gills on its neck, a dorsal fin, and a long, scaly tail. It is also described as having a horn-like structure on its head, which is believed to have the power to summon storms and cause misfortune. Fishermen in the Solomon Islands have recounted numerous encounters with the adaro, often describing harrowing experiences. One notable account comes from a fisherman named Taho Atoni, who reported seeing the creature while fishing near the island of Guadalcanal. According to Atoni, the adaro emerged from the depths, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. It swam swiftly around his boat, creating powerful waves that nearly capsized it. Atoni managed to escape unharmed, but was left deeply shaken by the encounter. In addition to fishermen, other islanders have reported sightings of the adaro. These accounts often describe the creature appearing during storms or rough seas, reinforcing its association with malevolent weather phenomena. Witnesses have also noted the adaro's ability to move effortlessly between the ocean and the land, suggesting a level of adaptability and intelligence that further fuels the legend. From a scientific perspective, the existence of a creature like the adaro raises fascinating questions about marine biology and evolution. While the adaro's unique combination of human and aquatic features seems improbable, it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility. The deep sea, which remains largely unexplored, could harbor unknown species with extraordinary adaptations. Creatures such as the adaro might represent a form of convergent evolution, where similar environmental pressures lead to the development of comparable traits in unrelated species. Although no definitive physical evidence of the adaro has been documented, there have been intriguing findings that suggest the presence of an unknown marine creature in the waters around the Solomon Islands. Fishermen have occasionally reported finding unusual tracks on beaches and unexplained damage to their boats and fishing gear. Additionally, some researchers have discovered anomalies in the local marine ecosystem, such as unexplained fluctuations in fish populations, which could indicate the presence of a large predator. The adaro holds significant cultural importance for the people of the Solomon Islands. It embodies the unpredictable and often dangerous nature of the sea, serving as a symbol of respect and caution for those who depend on the ocean for their livelihood. The legend of the adaro also reinforces social and moral values, warning against hubris and disrespect toward nature. In contemporary times, the legend of the adaro has been embraced by some as a symbol of the island's unique cultural heritage. While skepticism remains, the continued belief in the adaro among many islanders highlights the enduring power of folklore and the importance of maintaining cultural traditions. Efforts to document and preserve these stories contribute to a broader understanding of the region's rich cultural tapestry. The mysterious Zimbabwe merfolk. In the heart of Africa, amidst the lush landscapes and winding rivers of Zimbabwe, lies a captivating and mysterious legend, the tale of the Zimbabwe mermaids. For centuries, indigenous peoples of the region have recounted stories of mysterious aquatic beings known as mermaids, said to inhabit the rivers and waterways of the country. The legend of the Zimbabwe mermaids traces its roots back to the rich oral traditions of indigenous African cultures, where stories of mystical beings and spirits hold deep significance. In Zimbabwean folklore, mermaids are often depicted as beautiful yet elusive creatures, possessing both human and aquatic traits. They are believed to dwell in the depths of rivers and lakes, emerging only under the cover of darkness to lure unsuspecting victims into the water. Mermaids are said to possess supernatural powers, including the ability to control water, manipulate emotions, and ensnare the souls of those who dare to venture too close to their domain. In some traditions, mermaids are revered as guardians of the waterways, while in others, they are feared as malevolent spirits capable of wreaking havoc on unsuspecting humans. Despite the mythical nature of mermaids, reports of encounters and sightings have persisted throughout Zimbabwe's history, fueling speculation and intrigue among locals and outsiders alike. In rural communities near rivers and lakes, tales of fishermen and villagers encountering mermaids are often passed down through generations, serving as cautionary tales and reminders of the dangers lurking beneath the surface. One of the most famous incidents involving Zimbabwe mermaids occurred in 2012, when a group of schoolchildren claimed to have witnessed a mermaid-like creature in the waters of the Mpopoma Dam in Bulawayo. According to their accounts, the creature had a humanoid upper body with long hair and fish-like features, while its lower body resembled that of a fish or serpent. The existence of these Zimbabwean mermaids has created significant challenges for the local communities. In addition to their menacing behavior, these mythical creatures have become a source of great disturbance and inconvenience. In the year 2012, during the construction of the Gokwe and Osborne dams, a construction company based in Zimbabwe reported a startling incident that caused widespread panic among its workers. According to their account, a peculiar and frightening creature, known as the Mamba Muntu, had been responsible for numerous attacks on the employees, eventually leading them to flee the construction site in fear for their lives. This mysterious humanoid river monster instilled such terror in the workers that they felt compelled to abandon their duties and seek safety elsewhere. According to popular belief, the Mamba Muntu beings were thought to utilize the rivers as their natural pathways leading to the vast ocean. The local legends claimed that these mystical creatures were deeply displeased and aggrieved by the ongoing construction projects taking place near the riverbanks. There were extensive discussions surrounding the ongoing construction, questioning the feasibility of proceeding without conducting a thorough assessment of the environmental implications. Regardless of contractual obligations and health regulations, construction persisted under immense pressure. Due to the deep-seated superstitious beliefs of the local workforce, the construction of the dam project faced a major setback. This compelled the local council to take the drastic measure of recruiting a completely new set of workers from abroad to continue the construction work. The prevalent superstitions among the locals were so strongly ingrained that they adamantly refused to carry on with the project. Strangely, it is worth noting that despite several weeks of enduring their employment, even the foreign workers eventually decided to resign. Their reason for leaving was their assertion that they had encountered aggressive sea creatures with human-like characteristics while working near the river. In order to pacify these peculiar beings, the council found themselves compelled to conduct elaborate purification ceremonies and present offerings to the creatures, ensuring a smooth continuation of the construction process without encountering any subsequent problems. These mystifying entities demanded utmost attention and respect, necessitating the council's thorough engagement in rituals that cleanse and purify the surroundings. Zambia, an often overlooked country in relation to Zimbabwe, took on the ambitious task of constructing the Kariba Dam in the very same waterways that run through its territory. The implementation of this project was deemed crucial for the region due to the multiple benefits it would bring. Firstly, harnessing the power of the river water would not only fulfill the entire electricity demand of the area, but also alleviate the power shortage issues. Moreover, the project would serve as a significant source of employment for the local population, offering them opportunities to earn a sustainable income. The comprehensive nature of this initiative ensures that it not only addresses immediate power needs, but also contributes to the long-term economic development of the region. Regrettably, a significant number of religious leaders who were already enduring the heavy-handedness of the government held the belief that the establishment of the dam constituted a transgression against the sacred principles of their deity, Nyaminyami. This view stemmed from the deep reverence they held for Nyaminyami and their conviction that the dam's construction went against the very essence of their religious faith. Nyaminyami, who was primarily recognized as the deity associated with the Zambezi River, was believed to not only oversee the river, but also make it his dwelling place. The religious leaders engaged in a heated discussion, presenting their beliefs that the construction of the dam would provoke the wrath of Nyaminyami, the deity associated with the natural ecosystem. They warned of dire consequences and the potential for a catastrophic tragedy. In an effort to resist the government's plans for construction, they fervently urged the local population to stand against it. Despite the opposition expressed by the religious leaders, a significant number of the local population continued their involvement in the construction of the dam, thereby aiding the government's strategic plan to compel the indigenous Batonga community to relocate from their ancestral dwellings and establish new settlements elsewhere. Although the religious authorities voiced their dissent, urging the residents to abstain from participating in the dam construction, their appeals were largely disregarded. In a striking coincidence that seemed almost foretold by the religious leaders, a catastrophic flood wreaked havoc in the area not long after the resettlement of the Batonga people. Tragically, the dam, which was under construction but only partially completed, obstructed the water's natural path, resulting in its complete destruction. The devastating consequence of this event was the loss of all the workers involved in the dam construction project. Their lives were tragically cut short, and the dam itself met its demise as well. The unfolding of these events appeared uncannily aligned with the predictions made by religious leaders. In light of the fact that a significant number of the deceased individuals were residents of the area, this prompted numerous relatives to plead with the religious authorities for assistance in removing the curse and ensuring the construction of the dam proceeds smoothly without any future complications. This situation has sparked a deep concern among the local community, leading to a desperate need for intervention from religious leaders. According to the religious authorities, it was conveyed to the populace that the sole solution to alleviate the curse was to present a young bovine to the flowing waters. Interestingly, after the ritual concluded, the laborers seemingly materialized at the spot where the aforementioned creature was immersed in the river, leading to the eventual pacification of lingering spirits. This mysterious turn of events offered much-needed closure to the tormented souls. As many researchers have pointed out, mermaid creatures have been depicted in folklore, literature, and art across cultures worldwide. Despite their mythical origins, modern sightings of mermaids continue to be reported, suggesting that these strange beings might indeed be real and genuine. In 2009, reports of a mermaid sighting off the coast of Kiryat Yam in Israel captured global attention. Local residents and tourists described seeing a female figure with a fish-like tail performing acrobatic stunts near the shore. The sightings were so frequent and compelling that the local council offered a $1 million reward for anyone who could provide conclusive proof of the mermaid's existence. Yossi Levi was no stranger to the sea. Born and raised in Kiryat Yam, he had spent his life fishing the Mediterranean waters, providing for his family and honing his skills. On a warm evening in August 2009, Yossi set out on what he expected to be a routine fishing trip. The sky was clear and the sea was calm, promising a fruitful night of fishing. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the water, Yossi noticed an unusual disturbance in the distance. At first, he thought it might be a school of fish or a playful dolphin, common sights in these waters. However, as he drew closer, he realized that what he was seeing was unlike anything he had encountered before. Emerging from the water was a mysterious figure that appeared to be an ugly humanoid creature, but with a shimmering tail instead of legs. The upper body was human-like, with long hair and eyes that seemed to reflect the fading light. Stunned by what he had witnessed, Yossi initially struggled to process the encounter. He had heard tales of mermaids from sailors and fishermen, but had always dismissed them as mere folklore. Seeing the creature with his own eyes challenged everything he thought he knew about the sea and its inhabitants. Yossi's first instinct was to share his experience with others. However, he was also wary of being ridiculed or dismissed as a storyteller. Eventually, he decided to report his sighting to the local authorities and the media, hoping that others might have seen the same creature and that his story would be taken seriously. News of Yossi's encounter spread quickly, and the media descended upon Kiryat Yam, eager to interview the fisherman and learn more about his extraordinary sighting. Despite numerous attempts, no definitive evidence was produced, but the widespread and consistent nature of the reports suggests that something extraordinary was occurring. Modern technology has enabled more frequent documentation of alleged mermaid sightings. Smartphones and high-resolution cameras have captured images and videos that, while often blurry or ambiguous, offer tantalizing glimpses of these creatures. For instance, the Kiryat Yam sightings include numerous amateur videos showing a distant figure with a distinct tail. Although skeptics argue that these could be misidentified marine animals or clever hoaxes, the consistency and frequency of such footage lend credence to the accounts. Eyewitness testimonies play a crucial role in supporting the existence of mermaids. Many of these accounts come from credible sources, including fishermen, divers, and even marine biologists. These individuals often describe similar characteristics, such as the humanoid upper body, fish-like tail, and the creature's agile, graceful movements. The detailed and consistent nature of these testimonies suggests that the witnesses genuinely believe they have encountered something extraordinary. Cultural beliefs and folklore about mermaids persist in many parts of the world. In some communities, mermaids are revered as protectors of the sea, while in others, they are seen as omens of bad luck or disaster. These cultural contexts can influence the perception and reporting of mermaid sightings, but they also indicate a long-standing human connection to the idea of these aquatic beings. The reverence and rituals associated with mermaids in cultures like those in Zimbabwe demonstrate the deep-rooted belief in their existence. As of right now, modern mermaid sightings, supported by credible eyewitness testimonies, photographic evidence, and deep cultural beliefs, suggest that these mythical beings might be real and genuine. While skeptics may argue that these sightings are misidentifications or hoaxes, the consistency and detail of the accounts provide a compelling case for further investigation. If mermaids do exist, their discovery would revolutionize our understanding of marine biology, challenge our perceptions of myth and reality, and have profound cultural, ethical, and conservation implications.